segment is, so I talked about undergraduate, right? So let's say we're successful, we get our students to get into graduate training programs, and then what, right? So that's another hurdle. Maintaining and sustaining a diverse biomedical research workforce means like we probably need to start earlier than undergraduate, and Dr. Marilyn Fraser with the Arthur Ashe Institute does have high school programs and younger programs. So Sprinter and Emmy and summer research, we have a whole host of programs for the graduate program. But then when students become scientists, right, we think they've identified as scientists, there are still hurdles to persisting in academia. It's tough, right? So we have two of our trainees here, if they can make their way up, please. So they're part of a program that's called ECRIP, Empire Clinical Research Investigators Program, that supports clinician investigators to talk about how do we retain our faculty, women, underrepresented minorities in research, in academia, because we have talented folks here, and how do we make sure they stay in academia and we don't lose them to other forces. So, Doug, why don't we start?
Again, Douglas Mansell, Howard University graduate, PhD in molecular biology with specialization in cell-mediated immune responses. I am a postdoctoral fellow at the Weill Cornell Institute. I think we have a partnership with SUNY Downstate, Cornell Presbyterian SUNY Downstate collaboration. My opinion with retaining underrepresented minorities in the STEM is simply mentorship. I have two mentors. I actually have two mentors, Dr. Foster and Dr. Ferrongi, and I have two mentees, one from George Washington and in DC, and one from Howard University. And I think the connection in retaining them in the STEM is simply knowledge. They don't know where to apply. They don't know how to apply. They're simply robust, talented individuals with no direction. So what worked for me is that in order for me to get this actual fellowship, I actually came to Downstate, and I spoke to Dr. Foster, but I met Dr. Foster through Dr. Roman, and I had to simply hand in my application and said, hey, I have some kind of intellectual talent. I would like to pursue STEM-related research, especially in molecular biology. How can you help me? And then he referred me to Dr. Foster. Dr. Foster referred me to Dr. Ferrongi, and now I have a fellowship with Cornell. So, like I said before, my quick synopsis is that you simply need mentorship, and you need to reach out to them because they don't know how to reach out to you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Milena Rodriguez, and I came to Downstate because I was going to do a fellowship in rheumatology, and at the same time, I was very interested in neuroscience, which is something that is very hard to combine. And then, thanks to the graduate school and Dr. Stewart, I was able to combine both things, and I've been working on that since I came in 2016. I just finished a fellowship in rheumatology, like in June, and then at that moment I was very involved with the thesis for the PhD as well, and then I was trying to find a way to continue doing research, but I wasn't sure what to do. And then that was the way I was able to apply for the ECRIP fellowship, and actually the ECRIP fellowship is something that is going to allow me to continue in this pathway. My PI is Dr. Butin Foster, and my main research is, I'm a rheumatologist, I was saying before, I'm interested in inflammation and how systemic inflammation can be regulated in some way by the nervous system, and how the nervous system and physiology could regulate inflammation. We know that systemic inflammation is related with many of the diseases that we have been talking about today, like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, like autoimmune diseases, specifically in my case. And we know that our population specifically has a higher prevalence, and specifically the population that we take care of in Downstate have a higher population of all these diseases where inflammation in the background has a huge role in the pathogenesis. Then there is a physiologic way to control the systemic inflammation, which is called the anti-inflammatory pathway. And there is a way to regulate this through the brain. And then that's why I'm involved in research, and that's what I'm interested in. And one part of the research will include treatment and research with patients who has obesity. And they also have like a Hispanic background, an African American background, because the obesity is worse in this type of population, and we're basically finding immune markers that will predict if these patients will be able to develop a worse disease or not. That's one of the things, and the other thing that is, has been recently shown in a very recent research is how the impact of bicarbonate will be able to enhance this anti-inflammatory pathway through the brain as well. And actually the use of PPIs as a potential factor of worsening kidney disease, hypertension, and inflammation, specifically in African Americans. And then the third aim of my project is related with this. Then I'm very grateful for the ECRIP, and thanks to ECRIP, we're going to be able to be involved in this research with obesity and how the brain is regulating this anti-inflammatory pathway and suppressing inflammation.
Morning, everybody. Good afternoon now. My name is Egini, Dr. Egini. I trained as an internist. I guess my journey to research is a little bit, convoluted. I was born in Nigeria, and I don't know if there's any Nigerian here, but if you were born in Nigeria, depending on where you come from, there's this saying: you are either a doctor or a lawyer, an engineer, or you are useless.